Everyone has times where they feel a bit low or they have difficulty believing in themselves. But if this becomes a long-term situation, it can lead to a plethora of problems, which is the reason why today I will be sharing with you 3 tips to boost your self-esteem. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Kayla and I make videos about all things BPD, which I release every Monday. So make sure that you are subscribed and that you have your notifications turned on if that sounds good to you. What we know is that most people living with borderline personality disorder struggle with a sense of self-worth and self-esteem. Now, this might stem from different things. So a difficult childhood, past trauma, being invalidating, being a people pleaser your whole life. So never really having the chance to discover who you are and thus believing that you're not worthy of things that are positive in your life. Thankfully for us though, there are 3 ways that we can start working on our self-esteem today. The first is needing compassion for yourself and your journey. So start believing that you are worthy. You are worthy of happiness, of joy, fulfillment in your life, and although it might not feel like it today, you are deserving. And self-compassion can help us bring us there. Oftentimes we may be experiencing low self-esteem because we have a lot of internal negative self-talk. And so if we show compassion to ourselves in those times when we tend to be our worst inner critic, it can help us to break away from that and to show ourselves love and a sense of worthiness and belonging along the recovery process. You might have a tendency to use a lot of shoulds in your language, so saying things like, I should be doing this, or I shouldn't feel this way, or I should be past this, using a lot of language to put ourselves down and associating things that we don't do so well in, like for example, I did poorly on this test, therefore I'm a failure, and associating it to who we are fundamentally as a person. So self-compassion can help to ground us. It can help us to realize that we're human beings and we're doing the best that we can, and others are suffering along the way too, and we don't need to be so mean and critical of ourselves when we do experience shortcomings, because out of shortcomings is where we learn and we grow. As always, I will link some great resources for self-compassion in the show notes down below for those of you who are interested. Personally, I really like the self-compassionate break. It's very short. It just helps to put whatever you're experiencing in a broader perspective and can help to break you from the I-central focus of suffering and to extend it to all people, to recognize that we're not alone, while also offering yourself some self-soothing words or phrases and things to really help you navigate the tricky times that is recovery. The second tip to help boost your self-esteem is you need to believe that you can change. Recovery is not going to come if you don't believe that you can change. You need to believe that you're worthy, believe that you're worthy of having a beautiful and abundant and fulfilling life. Some things that can help with this is doing retrospective checks. So taking a few minutes every couple of months to look back on the progress that you've done. Because we do have a negativity bias, we tend to only focus on the negative things. So when you have a quote unquote slip up, you might think, well, I've made no progress, and as if I'm still taking things so personally or not being assertive or people pleasing. But when you actually put that into broader context and perspective, you will notice that, yeah, maybe you're still taking things personally, but maybe you're not reacting as strongly as you would have a few months ago. Or maybe the duration of your reaction is not as long. So doing those hindsight check-ins to see that you actually have changed can help you to shift your mindset so that you actually start believing that change is possible and that you're worthy of it. The last tip to boost your self-esteem would be to build up your self-trust, and you can start doing this by implementing small daily habits that are good for your mental health as well as building up your self-trust. Now, the reason that your self-esteem might be so low is because you haven't built trust in yourself. You haven't been authentic and you haven't proven to yourself that you're worthy and that you can rely on yourself. If you can't do small things reliably on a daily basis, then how are you supposed to believe in yourself that you're truly going to change, that you're truly worthy, that you are truly a lovable and deserving human being? So some of the things that you can start doing are just very tiny habits, like for example, making your bed in the morning. And what this does is it not only gives you a dopamine hit when you say, I'm going to do this, and you actually follow through with it, so you feel good in the moment, but it's actually showing to yourself that you're someone who goes through with their word, with their commitment. So if you have this commitment to make your bed every morning and you start acting on it, you're going to start trusting your own word, that you can follow through with commitments and other things, and you're going to slowly build up trust in yourself and consequently build up your self-esteem. Other things you could start doing is just to simply splash cold water on your face in the morning. This can help to regulate your nervous system, give you an overall sense of calmness throughout the day. You can include 5 to 10 minutes of movement in the morning, so going for a walk outside, doing yoga or stretching. So really building on these very tiny habits, and we want to start very small so that we are making sure that we can do them, because sometimes we overcommit to things and we end up not doing anything. So this is not the point. That's going against the building self-trust. You want to pick things that feel true to you. So don't take a cold shower because Wim Hof says it's cool and it's good for you, because if you're miserable during the cold shower, you're actually going to feel worse at the end of it. So picking things that make you feel good, that are small, that are possible for you with the resources and tools and where you're at, doing those daily, showing to yourself that you are someone who's trustworthy. You might start to feel more trustworthy with other people as well. And you're going to gradually build up that sense of self-esteem, of self-worth, of feeling deserving. Building up your sense of worthiness and self-esteem takes time. It takes consistency, it takes self-compassion, it takes a lot of introspection. So don't get discouraged if you don't notice a huge 180 overnight. That's probably not going to happen for you. But just remember that there are things you can do. So you can build up your self-trust by implementing small daily habits. Believing that you can change is really important in recovery, and practicing self-compassion along your journey. As always, I'm curious to hear what are tips and tricks that have helped you build up your self-esteem. You can just leave a comment in the comments down below. Not only do I read and respond to all of them, I find that they're also very useful for other individuals who are watching my videos, so that they can also get beneficial information from the tricks that have worked for you. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I wish you all the best week, and I will see you back here next time for another episode of On the Line.